to take this Aaron Rodgers conversation in a different direction is that now that he's here in Pittsburgh, and we told you how the season's going to likely go, right? Pittsburgh's going to be okay. Rodgers will have his moments, but in the end, it won't be enough because Rodgers is kind of washed, and I don't know that he is locked in and cares about succeeding as a quarterback like he has in his career. He waited so long to sign. You saw in the last couple of years with the Jets. Like, is he still motivated, or is he still, well, I'm still an NFL player and I get to do a lot of things and be high profile because I still play in the league, right? I'm not sold that's him. So that's how it's going to go for Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be very much like Russell Wilson last year, where it's going to be, boy, he had some moments, but in the end, we'll be in December going, are they going to turn to Will Howard? Is it Will Howard's turn? Is it Mason Rudolph's turn? Is it Terry Bradshaw's turn to come back? So that's how it's going to go for Rodgers. But a bigger thing is that if Rodgers fails, this is Mike Tomlin's last year with the Steelers. He is fired, or there's a mutual decision where he is done, because he has tried to build this team now. However, how he's won, he and Omar Khan, since Ben Roethlisberger retired. Then look, in the last couple of years of Roethlisberger, he couldn't really throw. Everything was really short. We've talked about this. And now they've gone into the next post-Roethlisberger era by trying to shop in the bargain bin for quarterbacks. Oh, we can get Justin Fields for nothing. We can get Russell Wilson for nothing. We can get Aaron Rodgers for nothing. This is not a good strategy. And Mike Tomlin, this strategy of winning has been out of style in the NFL for 30 years. I get that you don't like the drama that you had to deal with Roethlisberger and Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, but guess what? You need a guy that can throw the football. You can't go cheap at the most important position and expect to win. This is a bad strategy, and Mike Tomlin's going to go down with the strategy of, these were the guys that I picked at the end in Pitt. These are the guys we picked at the end in Pittsburgh. And because if they don't win this year, they're done. The Mike Tomlin experience is over, and it's time to move on someplace else with a more modern NFL coach that gets how it is to build a team in 2025. Because clearly Mike Tomlin offensively doesn't. I still want to run the football a ton. I want to play great defense. I want the quarterback to be necessary evil. I'm sorry. You saw what happened. Bill Belichick tried to build a team that went back in time 30 years, and look where he is now, barely holding on at North Carolina. Team he hasn't coached a game for yet. The same thing is going to be due with Tomlin. If this Aaron Rodgers thing doesn't work, Mike Tomlin is going to be out. Now, he'll get a new job someplace else. Maybe he waits a year because Tomlin's still a young guy, still a very successful guy. But Pittsburgh, this is it. And it baffles me that this is how Mike Tomlin has hitched his wagon to the last three quarterbacks, knowing that at some point Pittsburgh's going to run out of patience, that it's Fields and Wilson and Rodgers were the guys that he said, yep, here's what I'm casting my lot in with to potentially take the Steelers out and have them win. When it's going to be another year of the same old stuff, they'll compete for a while, but they're not going to have enough at the end of the year, and it's going to be, dude, you really thought you were going to win with these guys? We need somebody new that gets offense, that gets what it's like to build a team in 2025. This is it. Tomlin's done if this doesn't work.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Arthur Smith's offense in Pittsburgh and going back to Tennessee and trying to determine what the next iteration would be. And with Justin Fields, it looked like it had a place, but they didn't want to meet whatever that price was, or he didn't want to come back, whatever story you want to believe. I believe the latter more than the former of, all right, you did me wrong. I'm going to go find my new opportunities somewhere else. The fact that it's the Jets, all right, we'll watch how that unfolds for you and live and die with you with each snap there. But the Aaron Rodgers part of it, again, owing to your Jets, is year one was an incomplete. You got 4 snaps. Last year, depends what you want to believe in terms of what that second half was. Was it good? The overall numbers say, okay, there's some positive things you can hand on it, and maybe you say, well, we get a piece of a guy that for 1 year is motivated. He's in a big spot, big marquee team, worldwide, global interest, all of that kind of stuff, and still has some throws left in his arm. Now, do I think they need to go out and get another wide receiver? I don't know how good Roman Wilson is. I don't know. I got DK Metcalf and I got Pat Freiermuth. Jalen Warren's a pretty good running back. And then we'll figure out what you have beyond that. But the wide receiving core could probably use a little more of an upgrade. So I'm keeping an eye on all these disgruntled wide receivers because they have an awful lot of draft selections at their disposal for 2026, right? And that's where we go to there. I wanted to read a tweet because I thought this was funny. It would make you laugh. This is from Jerry Dulac there in Pittsburgh, Post-Gazette, getting ready to cover the U.S. Open this week. But this is the gem he gave us. Quote, give the Steelers credit. They have signed 2 starting quarterbacks who are future Hall of Famers for less than $20 million total. Name another organization to pull that off. I can't. All right, talking about the contract, because I saw a bunch of they really overpaid in June. Normally it's bargain basement. This deal was done. We were talking about this for 2 months. It's just now they inked it. It's been sitting there with all the incentives waiting to be signed. And now he comes in and we see how quickly they can get up to speed. Yeah, it's a big bet for Tomlin. I just wonder if he doesn't have the lifetime pass that with Steelers ownership, that at no point that they'll ever say, see ya.
There's a different sort of standard. They definitely wait a long time before they move on from coaches, but they're at the end of that run now. They're
but he's never had a losing season.
They're at the end of that run. There's different standards, and clearly it's not getting better. They haven't found the quarterback. They need an offensive mind. This is where the NFL needed an offensive minded coach to be in the 2020s.
Can we get one of the Roonies to stand up and say, "Hey, January matters"?